Hi friends, welcome to PSC Collegiate English. Today, let us have a quick revision of Kubla Khan written by Coleridge in 1816. The poem is written in both past and future tense. Coming to the title as such, Kubla Khan or A Vision in a Dream, a Fragment. This is the full title of the poem. The character Kubla Khan is based on the historical character Kublai Khan, the grandson of Genghis Khan, who was a Mongolian warrior, and he was also the first to rule all China in Dadu in Xanadu, Mongolia. The Venetian explorer Marco Polo visited Kubla Khan's palace in 1265. Now let us see the element of myth in the poem. The poem is dreamlike and has imaginary quality. It also mentions the river Alph, which is based on the true Alpheus river in Greece. The river meanders through caves and forest and forms fountain of water. Okay, and he also Coleridge also mentions about a woman who is wailing for her demon lover. There is also a prophecy of war, an element of mythological fate and influence of ancestors on the present day. I quote, "The shadows of the dome of pleasure floating midway on the waves." That is the dome floating on midway of the waves. That is the dome floating on the sea. That is a prophecy that the kingdom is about to face a war. Let us also look at the element of romanticism in this poem. The poem has intellectual and artistic movement, which is the main feature of romanticism of the 19th to 18th century. It has influenced art, music and architecture. Romanticism investigates beauty, landscape, intuition. It delves into individualism, self-expression. Okay, it has reflections on the acts of mind that is a result of imagination. This thinking informed the way he wrote Kubla Khan, reflection on memory and imaginative striving rather than moral or overarching theme. Now this is the purpose with which he wrote Kubla Khan. We all know in the Biographia Literaria he clearly mentions, Coleridge clearly mentions that Wordsworth was assigned to write about ordinary people and ordinary elements around them, whereas Coleridge was imposed with the task of dealing with supernatural elements of romanticism. Now speaking about the form of the poem, it has 3 stanzas. The first stanza is 11 lines long, second is 25 and third one is 18 lines long. It is written in iambic tetrameter, okay, and it is inchantary or chant-like tone. Coleridge also informs the reader indirectly that one has to read the poem thrice to understand its meaning. It is also said that he wrote this poem as a result of a dream which he saw in one of his opium periods, once he had consumed opium, and in that deep thoughts this fragment came to him. Later on he was not able to revoke this image. Anyways, coming to the plot, there is a place called Xanadu. In that Kubla Khan rules, and there is Alph river running through caverns to the sea, and there is a palace, beautiful palace, and it has fertile gardens around, walls, and it is towered by forest. That is, in the midst of a forest there is a beautiful palace with beautiful gardens, and there is also a fountain. There is a deep chasm in the hillside. There is savage forest which is haunted by a woman wailing for her demonic lover. Now here the element of myth comes. And a fountain bursts, which is many people believe that is the origin of a river. And from the fountain, that is the sound of water falling, an echo is heard. That is like ancestral voice prophesying a war. Now that is mentioned through the line, I quote, "A sunny pleasure dome with caves of ice," unquote. And there is a damsel with dulcimer, a woman from Abyssinia who plays a stringed instrument and sang about a place called Mount Abora. The speaker recalls her singing and wishes to reproduce the music, though through it he could build a dome in air. He feels that anyone who heard the song would see the dome and cry, "Beware," at the sight of a man with flashing eyes and floating hair. The speaker instructs those listening uh, to weave a circle around him 3 times and close their eyes with holy dread, because this man has eaten honeydew and drunk the milk of paradise. So, this is the content of the poem. Let us look at the structure and meter. Coleridge uses both tetrameter and pentameter. He changes them at times, forcing the reader to slow down and take in the effect rather than reading the line in a state of rhythmic hypnosis. The rhyme scheme is not orderly way, and it is written in a form to create suspense. Internal rhymes is used like 5 miles. Here I sound is repeated. He says that dreams are remembered in striking images and emotional tones. There is a shift in shape, location, time and narration. This particular aspect, the dreamlike effect, is seen in the poem as well. Initially he describes a palace and its beautiful surrounding. In the second stanza he speaks about a damsel who is singing about her demonic lover, the voice that is heard in the forest. And later on he mentions a lady with a musical instrument and she is singing something. That particular music makes anyone who hears the song to think about a pleasure dome with eyes on its top. But then the poet Coleridge says that nobody is, he tried to reproduce the music, but then that is not possible. Coming to the symbols, the dome is a symbol, Abyssinian maid is a symbol, imagination and creativity is given importance, dreams and reality is also given importance. Thank you so much.